All right, it's 4 o'clock on Thursday. It's time for the Real Estate Happy Hour.
We are back again.
Man, this is exciting.
You guys knew we were coming back because you're always waiting on us to get started. I know.
Hey,
I know.
We're back.
Famous.
Anyway, hey, Aerosmith, leading in with a little Aerosmith, huh?
Yeah, dream on.
Hey, one of the greatest rock and roll bands. I saw the other day where they were ranked as one of the, there was only like 3 bands that said, Billboard magazine or whatever said, could sell themselves the same way they could in the 80s that they could today, over time.
I'm telling you, they're a big deal. The song is Dream On, and we are feeding the American dream, helping with the American dream.
That's what we do every day.
Busy this month doing that. A
back.
lot of people out
there.
there.
The real estate market is back.
Real estate market's back. We're doing good. Everything's cooking. Rates are down.
Man, you're every time I call you, man, you just getting off a call, about to go on another call, or I'll call you back because I'm on the phone with a client.
It's going good. I think that the rates cooling off and staying low is helping out, and inventory is definitely going to houses are going to come on the market. I think people are, the fears and the anxiety from last year is over.
I hope so.
They're getting out there.
They're getting out there. I was talking to one of your colleagues here in the office, and he was talking about. I mean, there's a lack of inventory.
Yeah.
He had a backlog of 18 people. He was saying, right, that are just sitting there ready to go. So if you're looking to sell your house, you may want to get out there because there's people willing to buy them.
Yeah, there's plenty of people on the market looking around, so it'd be a good time to do that. If you are looking to sell, give Collier Swecker a call and do it.
Let's do it. Anyway, man, I'm just now getting over Auburn's loss, by the way. I didn't know if I could do the show today because I was still so, I have never let this bother me like I have this one.
Man, it was upsetting, okay? I tell you, they were on a great run, and they had a great attitude. They had a great team, some good players.
Man, the fact of the matter is, of course you know this, but it comes down to the very last second. They inbound the ball, they being UVA, the eventual champions, inbound the ball, basically a second left, shooter goes up, releases the ball. After that, gets touched in the leg like a girl touch. Nothing big.
Yeah, it really wasn't. Okay, technically it's a foul, but in the last second of the game, it's not a foul. You cannot determine, all of that effort, all of that work to come down onto that. I don't think personally. I don't like the call. But what we were going to talk about is how Auburn responded, saying, look, kids make mistakes, coaches make mistakes, players do things wrong. Referees make mistakes, okay? They called the foul, whatever.
Yeah.
It's part of the game.
Mike Huckabee said it yesterday in a post that he made. This is a politician talking about that the greatest thing he got out of the tournament was Auburn in a loss. He goes, I don't have any tie to Auburn. In fact, I'm an Arkansas fan. But the maturity you saw out of these kids, but this team was special for Auburn. I think you see that in every program. There is a team that shifts a program, and this was it for Auburn. And these kids, on top of their athletic ability, the poise, the kid that committed that foul, he sat there and took every question, didn't make an excuse, and really just looked at the cameras and said, hey, you know what? I don't tell the ref how to ref. He doesn't tell me how to put the ball in the hoop. So we move on. And that's a life lesson for all of us, really.
And that's really good for attitude, for the team, for the program going forward. That's awesome. I like to see Virginia win it. Virginia is the one and only 1 seed that's ever lost to a 16. The next year they come back and win the whole thing.
They did.
It's a great story. I've had a couple of texts or a couple of emails from our CEO about Coach Bennett and his beliefs and his belief in God and how he runs the program. And just a great guy.
Well, the best thing about Coach Bennett is he's always going to have an asterisk next to his championship. So
yeah, that's what
beautiful.
Collier says. But look, man, he's they came from a devastating loss last year.
Oh, as bad as it gets.
As bad as it gets. The only 1 seed to ever lose to a 16.
And by the way, was down again this year in that same game.
And then came back and won. It's a great story on both sides, really.
Well, we would prefer how it ended for them. Now, hey, I want to tell you about this before we get into real estate. on Netflix. Have you watched this documentary called The Dirt, Mötley Crüe, about Mötley Crüe? I'm a huge 80s hair band, metal band fan. Now, have you watched this?
No, not seen this. I've heard about it several times.
Phenomenal, right? Well, do not watch this in front of your mother, your grandmother, your kids, anybody from church. Do not watch it. These dudes were wild. I mean, like I saw an interview with Vince Neil, who loved Vince Neil, but he said everything you saw there, and we're talking the debauchery, he said that was kind of PG compared to what really happened. And so if you're a big Crüe fan and big music fan, man, watch this, because, dude, I'm telling you, you thought anything we ever did in college.
I can only imagine Mötley Crüe. Michael Bruno loves him, but I can only imagine Mötley Crüe and their popularity in what, 80s, 90s? Was it
early 80s into the 90s, early 90s?
I can only imagine.
I mean, and then you think of Tommy Lee. I mean, think of Tommy Lee, right? He's tatted up. I mean,
drummer.
I mean, he's a decent looking guy, I suppose. But think of the two pinups from our generation. He basically married or dated, seriously, Heather Locklear and Pamela Anderson. I mean, that's pretty strong.
I mean, it's funny to talk about it that way, but yeah, I mean, it's got
Bruno had their posters in his room, so
had to have. Now, so tell us about this Money Girl podcast. What's going on there?
Thanks to the success of the happy hour, got to appear, represented homelight.com and Google. And on the Money Girl podcast, Laura Adams is the host over there. Great podcast, by the way. This is a show that's been downloaded about as much as we have. They've been downloaded about 40 million times.
Oh, yeah. Just a little bit above us.
Yeah, just a little. She's been going since 2008.
I think we're about 38 million.
That's right. Yeah, 38. That's it. Anyway, was on there talking about selling your home and what mistakes to avoid. And, it was a really eye-opening experience. Very professional lady, really big into personal finance, really kind of what we want this show to get to in terms of what we talk about, which is the personal finance, the real estate, and breaking those topics down. But it's episode 587. 587. This is episode 56. So we got a few more to go to catch Laura.
So by then we'll be 40 million. I mean,
so go check her out. I actually do recommend her. Phenomenal lady and good time, and thanks for having us on, Laura.
That's awesome. Little quick update on interest rates, where we're at. Okay, rates are ticking up. Look, some people, Collier forwarded me an email from another lender that said rates are getting worse, which is a little confusing, okay? Rates are great right now. Technically, yes, they are getting a little bit worse, but we're talking about minuscule. Right now we're at 4.12 on the 30-year, 3.6 on the 15. Guys, this is a trend now that rates are improving, okay? I just watched a post yesterday, the National Real Estate Post, Barry Habib. Guy's very intelligent. I've been watching him for years, and he was talking about the potential of a recession in the next, let's say, 12 to 24 months. And typically, real estate prices do well, home prices do well. Rates actually get lower in a recession. So, look, we've got good times ahead.
Well, I've talked about it many times. In the worst of times, so war breaks out. Hey, great time to buy a house because mortgage rates go down.
Look, I think the real estate market is going to be protected because it almost crumbled the economy in 2008.
It really did. Absolutely. And that's why you're seeing these hedges.
And who are you going to take care of first? I mean, we saw what happens when you mess with the housing market, right?
Oh, every aspect of it. And you think about it from the greed, everything dealt with it. Anything dealing with that collapse had a finger in real estate. I mean, there was something touching it.
And last year we had a lot of waves. Okay, a lot of things happened last year. This year, man, it's just been set up for a great year. I really think so.
Yeah,
it's a good investment property to put a Popeye's chicken place on. Oh, absolutely, Martin Jones. Appreciate the question.
I mean, I like Popeyes.
Listen, if you can sell some Popeye's chicken, then that's going to be obviously a good deal. Maybe pizza. I heard pizza is the best margin in the restaurant game.
And the other thing I would also say is that relative to these fast food type or any commercial space. Look at McDonald's. McDonald's, I remember an old Ray Kroc quote saying, everybody thinks I'm in the burger business. I'm in the real estate business.
Just buying.
I have
buying
all
places.
the prime real estate, and that's a thing there. So
absolutely. Well, I wanted to bring up. So rates are dropping, right? Refinance potential is out there, and you have got people calling you, right? They get your information, and a lot of companies live on just refinance business. And we alluded to it last week. I want people to be careful. We have a scenario pop up this week in our office. It was a loan officer here. His client was reaching out to him saying, hey, I got these numbers from another bank. They're telling me I should refinance. He looked through them and it was ridiculous. They were adding, and this was a no cost refinance too. Okay. Let's see here.
Patton Oswalt. Dude.
Patton Oswalt.
Hey, that's right. He's a comedian.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Nigel picking on you?
Yeah.
There you go.
That's good. That's a good one.
That's a good one. Patton
I'm okay
Oswalt.
with that. Okay with it.
All right, so listen, this guy or this client, I'm not going to put any names out there, but this no-cost refinance, and I want to highlight that real quick. A no-cost refinance, a lot of people will market that to you, and then
sounds great.
Yeah, they're taking your loan balance, adding that to your loan, and then giving you a new loan amount that's higher. They're saying no closing costs out of pocket.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not coming out of pocket. They're coming out of the equity in your home because you're actually going to a higher loan.
So you're saying that I'm gonna, if I really only needed $200,000, I'm gonna go up to 203 in loan amount.
Or let's say that your mortgage payoff is $190,000.
Okay.
Your new loan's $195,000.
Okay. Yeah.
What happens there?
Right.
Where's that?
Yeah, it's gone. Equity's gone.
Is that a no cost?
It's cost. It cost me $5,000.
Yeah. Was that the Penguin and Batman? I'm not.
They're talking to each other.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So anyway, this one they were adding about $3,500 to her loan amount, and they were bringing an additional $3,000. The total add was about $6,500
to the loan amount they were getting.
And I think this client had been in the loan for less than a year. They were backing this up to a 30-year.
Okay.
So they were adding on about 8 or 9 months, 8 to 9, 12 months to the loan, saving $40 a month. So you're paying $6,500.
So what's that break even, just to get that back?
The break even on that, I think I ran it was like 12 years.
So over $40 a month.
Yeah.
It'll take 12 years before you start making money on this loan.
On this no-cost loan. Guys, I'm telling you, listen, we are, at Mortgage Bank, it's like we are on retainer for y'all. I mean, I had a guy call me about, maybe selling his property because he's got a house.
Yeah.
He's already bought a new one. He's like, well, should I rent it out? And I was like, yeah, you need to call Collier, have him manage the rental for you. And then down the road, you're going to have this asset just sitting there. I didn't charge him for that advice.
No, great advice.
Right?
Fantastic, really.
But he's a past client of mine, and that's what we do. If the refinance doesn't make sense for you guys, we look at that and we tell you not to do it.
Well, I think the funny thing of this whole thing is that a lot of we've talked about every week with these national lenders, the Rockets and the Stagecoaches and stuff like that. A lot of these guys are teasing you into getting involved in these refinances that sound phenomenal. And quite frankly, I think even you, if what they were advertising were truly,
Yeah.
it's no brainer.
Yeah,
but the problem is the fine print says something different.
Yeah, they're just trying to get another deal, regardless of whether it's good for you or not. They're trying to paint a picture that there is benefit for you, saving $40 a month, but we're tacking on $6,500 in just extra stuff.
I always like to think, what are the guys with true wealth? What would they do, right? And it doesn't make sense not to look at the other thing, we talked about before, is like total cost of a loan, right? People aren't looking at the total cost. And that's what y'all use the APR for and those type of things. And these things can get out of hand. I mean, the fun days were when I was a closing attorney watching some of these come across. You remember the warehouse lines, and they'd have 3% origination fees. Man.
Yeah.
I mean, it get out of hand.
Yeah, don't just look at the monthly savings. Look at your overall financial picture and make sure that that's improving. Don't take a a 25-year, you got 25 years left on your mortgage and then stretch that back out to 30 years, of course you're going to save some money every month.
Well, that's right. Wait, Martin Jones said, what's the most expensive property that you have bought? Well, on top of our house, I did do a development one time, and so that was very hefty. It was on borrowed money and other people's money, but that was very expensive.
Good.
But hey, that was for business.
For business. So next, moving on, what are the benefits of a pre-listing home inspection?
Yes. Hey, we're not talking about, we had Tom Horn on here talking about while you were gone on your cruise, I believe, and we talked about the pre-listing appraisal, which really gives you the value of the home. The other thing that affects it, the sale that is, and the ultimate value is the home inspection at the very end. And what are some of the things that you will benefit from by doing it?
A pre-listing home inspection? You're right.
Right. So, because we need to reduce the stress of selling your home. And what that means is, before coming in here, I just got a home inspection on the backside of a transaction from a buyer on one of our listings. And there's an extensive list, most of which are ticky-tack stuff. Had we known on the front side, we would have gotten fixed, right?
Right.
And so, and it would have made a smoother transition here. So now we're under the gun, right? I have 2 days now to get contractors out. Remember, we're recording this, if you're watching a replay, on a Thursday. A lot of these contractors will not show up on a Saturday. But my timeline ends on a Saturday, right? So it makes a lot of that easier. The other thing is, too, they can request that we use professional people. Like it's something that's easily done by a non-professional. When I say professional, I mean a licensed trade, right? Man, you really got to be careful and go ahead and think about getting it up front for that reason. And the next one, which is help with pricing your home correctly. We got to know the condition of the home so that we know if there are any issues that we may or may not perform that repair, or it has this certain condition. Then we price it accordingly.
Yeah, there's certain things that buyers are going to ask for. And I will play the devil's advocate on some of these because I know that some of these things come up and they get dealt with in the process. So sometimes I'm not sure how much of this information would help before, like on pricing your home, because some of this stuff you're saying if you're going to price it less, then you may have to disclose that. So we already know about it.
Well, you do, but I don't think a lot of people really know what's going on. Like if I ask my wife how the upstairs HVAC is doing, it blows cold air. That's because I've been nursing it for 10 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But if she really thinks this is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I do think that and we may say pricing it correctly. I don't know what a better word for it would be, but it's more of getting right in the right headspace relative to price, right? That no one's going to take the house in this condition unless I fix these things.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing here is just the seller understanding the items that come up on an inspection, so they're not caught off guard because they get a little bit offended, right?
Huh.
When they see this inspection report come across.
It's not bothering me.
Yeah, they're like, what in the heck is all of this stupid stuff?
Yeah, and one of the big things I always tell everybody is if you were going to stay in that house, you need to fix it. If you're going to stay, because talk about most of the things relative to things like electrical, plumbing, those type of things, water leaks. But then again, we have this guy. There's nothing wrong with the water heater. It's 20 years old, for instance, on this one that we got today. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a water heater that warms water. It's not broke. I mean, you're old and you still work, I think. Right? But
so if it's not broke, don't fix it.
I don't know why I have to.
So what's next? Speed up the sales process.
Absolutely.
Right?
It would, right? Because right now, I'm on lockdown with this contract until such time as I can finalize it with these people.
Yeah.
And this relates to you guys in that the realtor, a good realtor, is not going to give you the release to order that appraisal until this is completed.
Yeah, and I think it also it'll cut down the time that the seller sees it and gets offended, and they're already ready.
Oh, they're offended.
You could go to the other agent and say, hey, we did a pre-listing inspection, and we already knew about a couple of these little tic-tac things.
We
We're
knew
not gonna
those
do
things.
that, right? So I think that's important. It allows you time to make repairs,
Right.
maybe before you put it on the
Absolutely.
market, right?
I mean, like we talked about earlier, the fact is you're going to have a gun to your head in those final days when you're having to get these things done, and that buyer has put a in writing said, hey, you need to use a license this and a license that. Now, it is funny how many agents put, like, I don't know, licensed painter to do this.
Yeah.
There ain't no such thing as a licensed painter. He might have a business license, right? It's just funny to me, like licensed lawnmower. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Avoid the need for renegotiation, huh?
Yeah, which is exactly what happens when a lot of these people, they want to renegotiate. Oh, by the way, Amanda just popped on, so she gets mad if we don't say hi. So
Hey,
hi.
Amanda.
Hey, Jenny.
There's Jenny.
We on this renegotiation, we're having to either make the repairs or renegotiate basically the terms of the contract. We might have to reduce the price, offer more of a concession, but that can become a problem because you guys say, I'm only allowing a certain amount of concession.
Yeah, let's say you take a contract that's we're already maxed what the seller can do, so we can't, we just have to finagle it. At that point, sometimes we have to pay the contractor directly off out of the seller's money on the closing disclosure. So a lot of things to think about there. And if you've done this prior to the listing, right, you've already thought about all these. You've had this conversation with your realtor.
Absolutely. Somebody has you married to Courtney Cox. Wrong Courtney.
It's David Arnette
Yeah. Help.
married to Courtney Cox.
Yeah. Courtney. Hey,
But I found a Courtney, though.
Oh yeah, yours is that your Courtney's better looking
yeah.
than that one.
So there.
Yours is hot.
There you go.
I can't believe I'm calling your wife hot. Why not?
Let's
All
call
right.
your Swecker, though.
Yeah.
You never know.
A little yes and a little
It'll
no.
help improve buyer confidence, huh? Because why?
Because, hey, it's already done. And they're not going to see these ticky-tack stuff all over the place. They're not. Here's the thing. The problem is when you leave a lot of little things done. On the report, he's marking a bunch of little things. It's funny, when I was talking to the seller today, I talked him down real quickly because I said, hey, look, I know these look bad, right, because they're numerous. They're not bad.
Yeah.
But I don't blame them.
But it's a lot of things, a lot of items.
Absolutely. I mean, you see 20 things, you think, oh, my God, right? But we can knock, even I could do, well, no.
Yeah.
I can't.
I was about to say.
I can't do it.
Not going to do that. And number 7.
Most importantly.
You make your agent's job easier.
Yeah, that's the most important. You make your agent's job easier because, you know what? We don't have to do 1 through 6.
Look, it can really help the process. It can help streamline the process. And let me tell you something. Right now, in this real estate market, for the next at least 4 to 5 months when we are going to be busy, anything you can do to streamline the process and make things simpler on everybody involved is going to be a big deal. And getting these things done early, cutting down on the little things that your buyer gets hung up on, is going to make the experience better for them too.
Before we're about to move into personal finance, but before we do, I've been dying. I just remembered this. I'm a big fan of Walmart of the Seas. Carnival Cruise Lines. Did you? You sent me a story today. Hey,
wow!
I've been telling everybody Carnival's awful.
Wow.
So tell me what you saw.
Carnival Cruise Line almost got banned from any U.S. port. Banned from docking their ships in any U.S. port.
By a U.S. federal
which
judge.
Obviously, there's a ton of ports where they load up, where they
embark.
Yeah,
we'll use
embark.
the proper word.
Whatever, embark. So
you're having every time we go, are you cocktailing during that hour?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's called embarkation.
Embarkation. But anyway, so they were caught lying about dumping oil.
Little thing.
Dumping oil, and they've been they were on probation for that, and then I think recently they got caught for dumping gray water, some plastic, and some other things just in the ocean.
During their probationary period.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, 40 million, I think.
Something, it was astronomical. But the funny was this judge basically told the CEO and the CFO or whoever, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm going to. I mean, but the fact that you're having to tell a major cruise line this is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, moving on to the personal finance stuff.
So Martin Jones said he worked for somebody that barely fixed the trampoline bathroom floor and a wavy roof before they sold their house. Yeah. I mean, things like that can cause a huge problem, obviously, in the process. But moving on to the stock market. Look, stock market is absolutely killing it, right? 26,000 on the Dow, 2,800 on the S&P. Analysts, and I pulled this article today because I thought there was some great stocks in here, very interesting, stocks they think were going to do well and do poorly. They're still seeing another 7% move from here on the S&P to 3097 over the next 12 months, okay? And what I thought interesting was just some of the stocks they picked out that would do great. Biomed.
Do you know them?
I've never heard much about them. Has a 54% upside. Again, this is the next 12 months. These are just a collection from analysts. I think they pulled some 12-month price targets and added them up for the overall market. Whatever, y'all don't care about that. Cigna, another one, upside 52%.
Insurer, right?
Yeah.
Or Cigna Health, which would be a health conglomerate,
Right.
if you will.
Diamondback Energy, and look these up when you guys can. Upside of 48%. Jefferies Financial Group, 56% upside. Nectar Therapeutics.
Nectar, baby. I love the word nectar.
Nectar Therapeutics, 110% upside over the next 12 months. So check that out. Look at those. Here's some that I thought were very interesting. Advanced Micro Devices. Now, this is a chip company.
AMD, been around forever.
Yeah, they've been around forever, and they are also linked to a lot of the smartphones. Downside 18% coming up. Oh, here's another one. This stock has just been all over the place the last couple of years. Up big right now. Chipotle Mexican. Downside minus 15%.
I still do not see how this chain is
that
making
one franchise chain. I mean, the stock's like, I think $500 or $600 a share.
Doritos. I mean,
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Franklin Resources, don't know anything about them, minus 16%. Waters Corporation,
I bet they sell water.
down 13%. And Xilinx,
Xilinx is a tech, but
Yeah.
are they in
Minus
fiber optic maybe or
14%.
something? Now, I will say, how are the chat company Twilio has been holding itself. I mean, it'll be interesting. Next week, I want to hear from you on the if they're where they're trend line, because they're sitting right around $125 a share. We told you about them. TWLO, they are the only game in their space. So
yeah.
good.
So anyway, guys, be careful on the refinance jargon, the propaganda, whatever you get. Make sure that there's financial benefit to that. Listen, rates are down, but make a good financial decision.
That's right. We'll see you back next Thursday at 4 o'clock on the Real Estate Happy Hour. Also, don't forget the podcast. Anywhere you can find great
Pod.
That's right. Google
Look us up.
Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher.
We're going to add
We're
to
there.
that 38 million download.
And don't forget to, share this show, please. I mean, come on. Hey, come on. Do it for this guy.
Hey.
Look at this.
We're a big deal.
That's right. Share the show. Anyway, we love you. We'll see you next Thursday.
Have a great week.
All right, bye-bye.